Just do it, bruv. Well, I'm doing it, I guess. This is my first attempt at a whatever. Anyway, um, I was making some comments on this channel that I watch and channel that I resonate with highly, and reaching out to the channel owner, I guess, to no avail, and basically just having an experience of like, oh my god, I resonate with this content so much. I would love to reach out to this person and have an metaphysical slash intellectual slash spiritual conversation, because a lot of us are feeling it right now. A lot of us are feeling the desire for community, like-minded individuals, and to share these thoughts that are on our minds, on our hearts. I was having a conversation with a guy yesterday, and it led to us talking about the nature of our reality, I suppose. And I was pretty much presenting what most people would consider a pessimistic approach or perspective to our reality, but I am over the whole preconceived notions of pessimism, because I'm at the point where I'm like, nah, bro, it's not pessimistic. You're just coping and you cannot accept reality. And the reality is that this is a prison planet. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is essentially the patterns. And I honestly think it's pretty simple. And, it was kind of a moment after, when you have your shower thoughts and you think of all the stuff that you wish you would have said. And I wish in that moment I was like, why didn't I bring up pattern recognition? Probably because I was too busy being caught up in the just, you know how it can get when you're having these conversations and all of a sudden you are extremely passionate and riled up, but it's basically the difference between a flow state and a forced recollection, because there are the moments when you have your flow states and you don't even remember what it is that you just said like 30 seconds before, but everybody who just heard the words that came out of your mouth, they still have the goosebumps on their arms because of how much it resonated. But yeah, that's a tangent. My original point was that if you can recognize the patterns of this reality, it becomes pretty obvious that this is essentially just a realm of extraction. We're constantly being extracted. One of the things that the guy said yesterday was, pretty much just the whole notion about, we're here to experience life and it's a school and we're here to grow. And it's like, sure, okay. But even the notion of growth, it's essentially just decay in slow motion. Like, everything is moving towards death. And I mean, whatever your perspective of death is, me personally, obviously, I'm not like, it feels so stupid at this point to say I'm not afraid of death, because it's like, dude, no shit, like, what is there to be afraid of? Especially if you are aware of this realm and aware of the entities that are definitely waiting for you with that beautiful bright white light telling you, come on, come over here. And I was pretty much just telling him, like, yeah, bro, if anything, the most positive outlook that I could tell you is, yeah, the point of this is for you to cultivate your spirit enough so that you are aware at the moment of death. And for a lot of people, they believe that could come at any time for them. For me personally, that doesn't really resonate with me. For some reason, I'm very, like, aware that I'm not gonna die anytime soon, and I'm actually to the point where I believe that I'm not gonna die until I'm ready. And that's pretty much because I know that this is my last incarnation here. It has to be. It has to be. I'm not accepting anything other than that. But yeah, so this guy was basically just projecting, I mean, first and foremost, like projecting his own fears onto me, because something I also said to him was I said, hey bro, you either kill yourself or get killed here. And it's like, obviously, when you just say something like that to a regular NPC mind, they automatically go into a fear state and think that you're some suicidal nut job, when in fact, I mean, I guess it's just because I know myself so well, and I know where I'm coming from when I'm saying these things. And like, for one, I honestly feel like there's no true way to ever explain these things via words, via verbal communication. Like, you will always end up chasing your tail in some sense, unless you're just like 100% on the same frequency with this person, and you guys have the exact same connotations for every word and adjective and verb that you use. Most of us have very different connotations of these words in our minds, like, already. So as soon as we hear it, it's like, we already have, like, oh, well, this is what this means. Like, no, this is what this means to you. And even beyond that, because when it comes to things that are subjective, like when it's like, yeah, your experience versus my experience, that's one thing. But at the root of it all, there is an objective truth. There is one singular truth. And that's a very hard thing for a lot of people to grasp also. And what that truth is, well, for me to even attempt to sit here and verbalize it would be, it's just would be duly unjust to creation and source in itself. So yeah, I guess the point of this was just for me to go ahead and actually get something out there and to say hello, and that you are not the only soul out there that's thinking how you're thinking. There are souls out there that understand what you understand, and this is a place for us like-minded souls to come together, have a little chit chat, basically just resonate, and to build that frequency. And the more that we build that frequency, the more that it's going to well, ideally, the more it's gonna wake up other souls. But I'm also kind of like at the point where I don't really, like, I don't know, bro. I feel like either you got it or you don't. Like, either you fucking get it or you don't. Like, even since a very young age, it's like, boy, I knew what was going on. And I guess it just, got to a point where that flip switch so hard to where you can no longer go back. You can no longer continue on with the facade. And I really feel like that's what the difference is. The difference is the people who can continue with the facade and the people who no longer can't. So this is for the people who no longer can continue on with the facade. Welcome home. Yeah, this is just the beginning. Just imagine a proper community of like-minded souls and what we could do together. Just imagine on a small scale what happens when two people come together and focus their energy on something that they want to bring it to fruition. now a whole community. That's the type of power that they don't want us dabbling with. That's why, well, that's why everything is how it is by design. Anyway, that's all for now.